Are tomatoes actually toxic? Tomatoes are in everything. Pasta sauce, salsa, ketchup on your fries. They're supposed to be healthy, packed with lycopene and antioxidants. But there's a growing number of people who say we've got it wrong. That tomatoes belong to one of the most problematic plant families on Earth, and that eating them might be slowly damaging you from the inside out. Are tomatoes a superfood, or is there a side to them we've been overlooking? Tomatoes belong to the Nightshade family. Scientists call it Solanaceae, and this family includes potatoes, eggplants, tobacco, and all kinds of peppers. These plants all share something in common. They produce toxic compounds as part of their defense system. Plants can't run from predators or fight back with teeth and claws, so they evolved chemical defenses instead. These compounds deter insects and animals, not humans specifically, but nightshades are especially potent. So why do we eat them? The mainstream view on tomatoes is pretty simple. They're packed with nutrients, low in calories, high in vitamins C and K, rich in potassium. And that lycopene everybody talks about? Multiple studies have linked higher lycopene intake to reduced cardiovascular risk. The Mediterranean diet, which includes plenty of tomatoes, is associated with longevity in large population studies. For most people, tomatoes seem perfectly safe, and millions eat them every day without any obvious problems. But there's another perspective that's gained traction. Nightshades contain compounds called glycoalkaloids. Potatoes have solanine, while tomatoes have a related compound called tomatine, though at much lower concentrations. A 2002 study in inflammatory bowel diseases tested potato glycoalkaloids at high concentrations. The compounds harmed the gut lining and made inflammatory bowel disease worse in animal models. The concern is that similar compounds in tomatoes might do the same in sensitive individuals. And once that gut barrier is compromised, particles that should stay in your digestive tract can leak into your bloodstream. Then there are lectins. These are proteins that plants produce, and nightshades are particularly rich in them. A 2007 immunology study found that potato lectin activates immune cells called basophils. When activated, these cells release histamine. That's the same compound behind allergic reactions: the itching, the swelling, the hives. Cooking reduces lectin content significantly, and most tomato consumption is cooked. But small amounts of tomato lectins have been detected in human blood after consumption, suggesting they can survive the digestive process. Some doctors point to clinical observations. Dr. Stephen Gundry published a case series showing that nearly all his patients achieved complete resolution of autoimmune markers within 9 months on a diet very low in lectins, including removing all nightshades. A clinic in Hungary run by Dr. Toth has reported that patients eating only meat saw their intestinal permeability normalize and inflammatory markers decline. They've documented improvements in Crohn's disease, Hashimoto's, and lupus. These are case series, not controlled trials, so they can't rule out placebo effects. But the pattern the doctors describe is consistent. Remove the plants and the inflammation subsides. There's even a proposed connection to neurological conditions like Parkinson's. This doesn't mean tomatoes cause Parkinson's disease, but some researchers have a hypothesis. In genetically susceptible people, lectins could travel from the gut to the brain along the vagus nerve. There they might harm the neurons that produce dopamine. It's controversial, and the evidence is preliminary. Does this prove tomatoes are dangerous? No, but it raises questions about whether universal dietary guidelines work for everyone. If you eat tomatoes regularly and feel fine, mainstream nutrition would say you're probably doing okay. Many populations have eaten nightshades for centuries without apparent widespread harm. But if you're dealing with chronic inflammation, autoimmune issues, digestive problems, or joint pain that won't quit, some practitioners suggest trying a nightshade elimination diet for 30 days. Some people experience dramatic improvements, while others notice nothing different at all. Nutrition science is messy. What helps one person might harm another. That tomato sitting on your counter? It might be perfectly harmless, or it might not be. Maybe the question isn't whether tomatoes are toxic. It's whether they're toxic to you. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe.